Today is July 18th, 2018. The time currently now is 6 p.m. I have some interesting updates in regards to a few items that I mentioned in my previous broadcast. Starting off, I have officially announced a request to gather paranormal video submissions. However, my current efforts have not exactly been lucrative, so I will be looking into other methods, possibly stock footage, to create what I'm needing, would still offer up that option for when I get my audience back. This timetable that I've been on quote-unquote hiatus has proven to be damaging due to the new natures of social media being more all about sucking money out of people as when they can. So I'm gonna have to get creative with this. As you can probably tell, I am currently testing out a new HD web camera that has so far proven to have a much clearer picture, which is good. It will come useful. On July 25th, I also announced that there will be a live broadcast through my YouTube and my Instagram channels, to which we will try to make contact with the haunted dolls that have been in my possession for a little while now. So far, I have managed to document possible apparitions, child's laughter, a woman singing, and just a few other things I've noticed. The dolls have not shown any signs of resistance of me doing this, so we're going to go ahead and move forward. I agreed to the terms that I would only do it if they were comfortable, and if they weren't, they needed to give me something. I'm just not picking up on whatever that is, or they're okay with it. It's no guarantee that this can work. I cannot force them. However, I can potentially alter the conditions of the room to where they will have a much higher energy source. But more on that later. Earlier this week, I was also... How should I put this? It was also brought to my attention a rather interesting report that came through the grapevine of a young female subject who works the overnight cruise at a local retail store, stripping down to her underwear and showing unusual behavior, like that wasn't unusual in the first place, claiming that she was the vessel for some sort of god. It was said to be potentially Mayan, but as far as getting a specific name in order to do further research on the very, very, very off chance that this is a legitimate report, nobody around here is that fucking useful. And of course, I don't think that people realize that brought me this report know that I have contacts in which I can easily find out whether or not claims of paramedics being staged on scene are legitimate. Nothing. This proved to be a false report. Nevertheless, it would be interesting. Speaking of another interesting development, the Nephilim I mentioned in the previous video has gone missing and has allegedly left a note saying, "They're taking me back home." This is getting a little weird. This will either be one of those weird missing persons cases. Unfortunately, she is not located anywhere within. I have contacts to look into it. Missing persons reports have been filed by the family. It's rather unusual. Often reminds me of, I think it was a Russian kid, roughly my age, had an obsession with UFO phenomenon. All of a sudden went missing, and it was widely spread that somehow he managed to make contact with the extraterrestrials. They took him away. That'd be quite interesting, to say the least. Now, the Nephilim case could, like I said, me reporting on the fact that she has disappeared, at least from my contact, does not change the fact that I only give this report a 2% chance of being legitimate. Though with this, I'm tempted to drop that number. But unfortunately, I don't know enough in order to really look into it, which bothers me. Nevertheless, we have to keep moving forward, right? There's more cases out there, more ghosts, more monsters. Speaking of which, I'm also contemplating an experiment using a crossroads deal. Now, some of you may have heard of the Robert Johnson legend. I think that is the name of the old singer. I'm sorry, I'm just double checking. I have a few of the songs on my playlist. Yes, it's good music, nevertheless. Old, sounds like it's off the record, but still good. I saw the face. Yeah, Robert Johnson, who allegedly sold his soul at a crossroads in order to gain musical ability and fame. Now, some of you who happen to be fans of the show Supernatural might think, well, this might be a fucking crazy idea. However, crossroads summonings altogether aren't necessarily satanic in nature. They come from voodoo. And oftentimes eyewitnesses would describe a black man appearing at the crossroads if the summoning is done correctly. This translation in early times of being associated with the devil, when it is just a trickster god, I believe, by the name of Papa Legba. There are different versions of this, but the basic concept is that if you go to a crossroads, you offer up some treats, because Supernatural apparently did get it right that tricksters love candy and toys. They're basically like overgrown kids, which is kind of a scary thought when you consider everything. You give them treats, you'll win their favor, they'll help you out. Some versions of this involve at least 7 years of service to the particular entity you manage to summon. However, it involves no satanic material, and you keep your soul. You don't have to sell your soul. You're not likely to become hellhound lunch. So, I'm contemplating utilizing that method in order to further my own research and my own efforts. Plus, use a story of taking a guitar out to a crossroads just before midnight, start playing. Tempted to also try that because as another kind of experiment with it. It also should be noted that voodoo is not the only real practice that has involved this. It is said that followers of the Greek pantheon, gods Zeus, Hermes, Aphrodite, those followers of those gods used to use summonings at crossroads for Hermes. And it is interesting that it is noted the god Odin from Norse mythology is noted, I should say, to have also been summoned in a similar manner. In the way that it is written, it insinuates that Hermes and Odin were one and the same. This is, sorry, dropped my drink cap. This, if we go just off of hearsay alone, this could potentially back up theories that of a hierarchy and that the gods, pagan gods specifically, angels and demons as well, are all one and the same. And that some of the pagan gods sided up with the angels, some sided up with demons, some kind of went off on their own. This backs it up as also does kind of hint towards the possibility that all of these entities were in fact once human. So I need to do further research into that if I'm going to have any efforts into making sense out of all of it. Because another common thread is that I believe it would be Ashtaroth, one of the main goddesses from ancient Sumerian culture, is said to actually be one of Lucifer's children. So that all information comes from confidential sources who have managed to complete summonings in order to ask such questions. In order for myself to go in and try to do those, I'm going to need some supplies. Exactly what? Looking into it. So we'll give you further updates as it comes. So that's all for today. Be sure to click on links below to subscribe to my Facebook. Click on the subscribe button to YouTube. Check out my Instagram page, Twitter. Sign up, people. We need to get this information out there. Check out my website, dakotafranson.com. Because my store is up and running. You can check out movies, music, books, and other projects I've been involved in. You can actually book a one-on-one session with me to discuss your paranormal issues. So check it out. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me through my website. I shall see you next time. Later.